So guys, I saw this thing on the news and I thought it was really interesting, so I want to share it with you. And it's titled, Redfin will now let people buy a house in California without a real estate agent. And I'm not going to read this all together. There are several points that I find interesting about this. And then I'm going to go and talk about like kind of the final thoughts, or, you know, what people don't always think about, or if they're not in real estate, they wouldn't notice or know. So basically the whole point of this is Redfin, listed homes and Redfin owned homes. On the Redfin owned homes, you can literally download their app and you just click a button and then you can get either the lockbox code, or it unlocks and you can go check it out anytime without an agent going with you. So you don't have to actually schedule a showing with an agent. It's like whenever you want to go, you can just go. The second thing is that for both Redfin owned and Redfin listed homes, you can now, through Redfin's program called Redfin Direct, you can now buy or submit an offer unrepresented without a buyer's agent, and you can submit an offer. And so basically the whole premise behind this is, since the seller isn't paying any buyer's agent commissions, you can make a more aggressive offer being unrepresented. And that sounds really awesome, but I'm going to get to what exactly that means later on. The other thing I want to add to this is, I'm going to read this. This is me paraphrasing. Through the program, which the company calls Redfin Direct, buyers can visit and buy Redfin listed homes without needing to contact or use a buyer's real estate agent. According to the company, this allows buyers to make their offer more competitive by saving the seller from paying thousands in commissions to a buyer's agent. Okay, so for homes that Redfin owns through its iBuying program, buyers can use direct access, which allows them to unlock the door with their phone and tour properties on their own schedule without an agent. And then when a buyer is ready to make an offer on either a Redfin listed or Redfin owned home, Redfin Direct offers tools that help guide the buyer through the process, including laying out the elements of the contract and providing information on typical Redfin seller preferences so the buyer can make their offer stronger. Redfin Direct is a new way to buy a home for people who are confident in making an offer without an agent, said Mark Bennett, Redfin's state broker in California. So basically the whole case in point in this is, look, you don't pay a buyer's agent commission. You can make your offer more aggressive, more confident, whatever you want to say. And the number one thing to catch in this is Redfin Direct is a new way to buy a home for people who are confident making an offer without an agent. And that keyword, I wouldn't recommend doing this unless it's someone who's like actually in real estate, like they actually go out there and buy properties, or they sell, or they know the entire process from A to Z. Most people don't buy or sell regularly, maybe even for like a majority of the people, 3 or 4 times in their lifetime, maybe, I don't know, but it's not a very common thing. So my concern with this is that people are going to interpret that as, hey, if I can save money, or if I can get, if I can save money or make a nice offer by not having a buyer's agent and being underrepresented, I'm going to do it. Now, here's like the big catch to all this. All right, look, so you have the listing agent, which is the agent for the seller, and that agent is supposed to best represent the seller. It's what's called a fiduciary duty. And then you have the selling agent, or what's called the buyer's agent, who obviously represents the buyer, and their job is to best represent the buyer, and they owe them a fiduciary duty as well. So you have these two sides, and they both owe to their respective clients or their respective customers that fiduciary duty. Here you have Redfin, which is that listing agent for the seller, and they're best representing them, and they owe a fiduciary duty to look out for their best interest. And now they are saying, hey, look, you can come in as a buyer with no agent and nobody who offers you that fiduciary duty, that like they're someone that's looking out for you, looks, has experience in the field. Yeah, they say that, they're going to offer pointers, but those are towards seller preferences. That's like them saying, hey, look, if you're going to make an offer, do it like this because the seller really wants this and this and that. And so my concern with all this is you don't have someone who knows the market, who knows the experience, and is actually looking out for your best interest. Because technically, since you're unrepresented in the contracts, Redfin doesn't owe you any fiduciary or any super high good duties. Yeah, they owe you good faith. They basically owe you like good faith treatment, which is like, don't lie pretty much, or, treat you good, but not like look out for your best interests. And a lot of people don't understand that, if they see unrepresented, they think, oh, it's okay. But really, when it comes down to it, you don't have anybody that's looking out for your best interest. And sometimes people don't know what's best for themselves, especially without knowing the market, without knowing how to negotiate, all this sort of stuff. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody unless I knew for a fact, I'm like, you don't need me, and if it ever comes to that, I would just straight up tell them, like, hey, you don't need me, but to the everyday person that doesn't do this very often, I don't recommend this, and I think it's very dangerous. But we're going to see in the next several months, what exactly happens. I'm really curious about it. The other thing I want to mention with this is they're talking about saving money by cutting out the buyer's agent. So saving money, which is like cost versus value. And most people think, oh, it's favorable because, 1% listing, because it's like 1% listing fee. And now if you eliminate the buyer, really you're only paying 1% plus any closing costs. And most people hear that and they're like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. But if you go out there and you do the research on how many Redfin listed homes or owned homes sell over listing price, or if you look at their average days on the market, you can really understand where they sit in terms of marketing and selling properties that's favorable for their sellers, or if they get the best rates for their buyers, all that sort of stuff. Look, the case in point of what I'm trying to get down to the bottom of this is there's a difference between saving money and adding value. And so if you look at it as cutting out the agent's fees in order to save money, I mean, yeah, technically you're right, but what if, you sell like 20 grand lower because the bad agent, or they didn't want to do anything because they were like a 1%er and all they wanted to do was list it. You take pictures or somebody take pictures and that's pretty much it. The less time spent on it, the better, versus, a 3% or 2.5% where, their number one goal is to sell your house, best market it, all that sort of stuff. And so there's a difference here between saving money and adding value. And there really is that. And if you don't believe me, go in there, look at the Redfin numbers, look at how long their homes stay on the market and if they sell for over or under list price. And from there, you can get a better understanding of if they really even do save money, So overall, I think this is for the more seasoned investors or like people who buy and hold land and they do it on a regular basis. Really good program. If somebody came to me and said, hey, James, should I use this? I'd probably tell them no if they're not in real estate. But if they are, obviously, I would be like, hey, you know what? If you know what you're doing and you prove that to me, like, there's no biggie, But I want to share this with you guys because I think it's a very interesting program rolling out. More and more things are coming out like this where there's people that are going to be unrepresented. And the real question is who's gonna best represent them. So there's more and more programs like this coming out, like the iBuyer programs through Redfin, through Zillow, all this sort of stuff. And now it's getting to the point where buyers can now buy unrepresented. And in my opinion, that's very scary. Most people wouldn't understand. Most people wouldn't really get that part. But when it comes to contracts and stuff like that, you want to be represented. You want to have someone who has experience and who can add value to your life and your purchase. I'm really curious to see what happens with this. Anyways, guys, I want to make this super quick video. Tell me your thoughts on this direct buyer program. Would you trust this or would you choose me? I'm actually really curious to know which one you would choose, and please be honest with me. I really don't care. Honesty is key, But anyways, I want to make this super quick video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to know your thoughts on this. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.